Hello guys, as you know we have already discussed various phases of compiler. At that time I have also told you about two different components, that is error handler and symbol table manager. I have told you that these are the two components that are connected with all the phases of compiler. Now in the previous video I have already told you in detail that what the symbol table manager is all about. Now in this particular video we are going to see the second component, that is error handler. In case you have not visited my videos regarding the phases of compiler and the symbol table manager, then I would like to suggest you to visit those videos first, then come to this video so that you will get a clear understanding that we are having various phases of compiler. All the phases of compiler are connected with something known as symbol table manager and they are connected with something known as error handler. Now we have already seen the phases in detail, we have already seen the symbol table manager in detail, and in this video we are going to see what error handler is all about. So error handler is connected with all the phases of compiler. So that error handler is detecting each phase error, reporting it to the user, and then making recovery strategy for handling the errors. So what it is telling is, as we know, all the phases of compiler is having different tasks, right? So in case during that phase or during the task that the phase is doing, in case there is any error occurring, the error might be compile time error or the runtime error, but any type of error if occurs, that error is handled by this error handler. So error handler is detecting, first of all, if there is any error handler is detecting that error, it is reporting that error to the user, and at last it is making the recovery strategy also, whatever is needed for handling that particular error. So this is all about error handler. An error is a blank entry in the symbol table. As we know, we have seen the symbol table, so in case there is any error, it is represented by a blank entry. We will in future, as we proceed, we are going to see the parsing tables. Okay, I'll let you know about everything about parsers. So we are having different parsers like bottom up parser, top down parser. For those parsers we are using parsing table, and in parsing table also we will be seeing that in parsing table we will be having many entries. Fine. So in case in any entry or in particular cell, if we are getting blank entry, means we are not getting anything in that cell, that means that blank entry suggests what? Error. So similarly in parsing table or in symbol table, whenever we are getting blank entry suggests that there is some error in that particular phase. So this is all about error handler. This is how we can identify the error, that whenever we are getting blank entry, it is error. Now as I have already told you, error can be compile time or runtime. If at the compile time we are getting the error, it is compilation error. If after compiling during the runtime I am getting error, so it is runtime error. So error can be of any type. Basic classification of errors, we can say that as per the phases, if we classify the errors, the basic classification we are getting are lexical, syntactical, semantical and logical. So let's see what these errors are all about. Such questions can also be asked in different type of exams, that for example they can give you some error and they can ask you the clarification that which type of error it is, or they can ask you directly that what do you mean by semantical error. So it is good to know these things. Fine. So first of all, lexical error. So what is lexical error? Misspellings of identifiers, keywords, operators, etc. is known as lexical error. As you know, what is lexical analysis phase? It is separating out the tokens. It is identifying various tokens or identifiers. So at that time, if there is any misspellings in identifiers, keywords or operators, it is classified as lexical error. Fine. The second one is syntactical error. Missing semicolon, unbalanced parenthesis, etc. These errors can be categorized as syntactical error. For example, you have opened it 3 parentheses but closed only 2. It is syntactical error. For example, in the for loop, as you know, in the for, how the structure is: for I equal to 1, semicolon, I is less than something, semicolon, I plus plus or I minus minus. So as we know, in for, between the three conditions we are having semicolon, but for example in place of semicolon, if someone has written by mistake comma, then that kind of error is also coming inside this category, syntactical error. Okay. Then we are having semantical error, incompatible value assignment, operator operand type mismatch. All these are the classification of semantical error. What do you mean by incompatible value assignment? For example, you have written integer I equal to hello. That means what? I. You have written something like integer I equal to hello. That means I is what? Integer, but you are trying to assign hello, means a string to it. So hello is a string, but you are trying to assign it to a integer variable I, but that is incorrect. We should not do like that. If the variable is integer, it should be assigned an integer value, or if your value is string, it should be assigned to a character or string. So in that case, when your variable is of some other type, but you are trying to assign some other type of value to it, in that case is known as incompatible value assignment. So that is an error, that is a semantical type of error. Again, operator operand type mismatch. For example, as we know, you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division between the integers, but for example if you are trying to do difference like minus of two strings or two characters of two strings, then it is not possible. If you are writing hello minus world, then the compiler won't understand that what do you mean by. If you are writing 5 minus 2, then compiler knows, yes, 5 minus 2 is 3, I have to do subtraction. But if you are writing hello minus world, then compiler won't know that what this is all about, right? So you have to use operator with only those operands with which it can be easily operated, right? So operator operand type mismatch should not be there. Incompatible value assignment should not be there. If in case it is there, then they are errors, and they are semantical type of errors. Then the last one is logical. In simple words, if you want to understand, we can consider that the specific errors that are not included in any of these three types, they can be generally included in logical classification of error. What is logical? In case the code is not reachable, you have written some code that is not at all reachable, or you have written some code or some loop in such a way that it is going in infinite loop, it is not ending at all, then such cases will be included in logical classification of errors. So these are the different types of error. This is about error handler. So these different types of error can occur in any of the phases of the compiler, and in case any of the phases of the compiler is giving any such error, error handler will detect such error, report it to the user, and it is also capable of making recovery strategy whatever possible for handling these kind of errors. Fine, this is all about error handler. Thank you.